Hello! Welcome to the NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share Safety Training and Orientation. This online module will provide an overview of how to participate in the NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share program and provide some tips about general bike safety as well as bike safety in Washington, D.C. The NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share program creates opportunities for NYU Washington, D.C. students to explore Washington, D.C. and live an active and healthy lifestyle while saving time and money. The Bike Share program has been initially funded by a green grant from the NYU Office of Sustainability. All current NYU Washington, D.C. students who are 18 years of age or older and complete this online module will be eligible to participate in the NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share program. Before discussing the Bike Share program in more detail, here are 10 tips for general bike safety. Number 1. Plan ahead. Before you begin biking, do some research to figure out where you're going. How do you get there? Are there bike lanes? Are there tricky intersections? Will there be traffic? These are some things that you'll want to think about. Number 2. Remember that safety is sexy. Make sure to wear a helmet, ride with the lights on, and avoid distractions like your smartphone and headphones. Number 3. Riding in the street is safer than riding on the sidewalk, even if you feel more comfortable there. In downtown DC, you're prohibited from riding a bicycle on the sidewalk. Number 4. When riding in traffic, be calm, alert, confident, and predictable. When you're passing and turning, communicate by making eye contact, using verbal cues, and using hand signals. Number 5. Obey signs and traffic laws to safely maneuver the streets with other vehicles and pedestrians. Number 6. Ride with the flow of traffic. If you're unable to ride with the flow of traffic for some reason, for example, if you're on a one-way street, consider changing your route or moving onto the sidewalk temporarily. Number 7. If you're biking on a street without a bike lane, it's in your best interest to move into the lane. Number 8. When you're turning, you can turn like a car using the full lane and signals, or you can turn like a pedestrian by using the crosswalk. Number 9. Try to bike at least 3 feet, or at least 1 meter, away from parked cars in order to avoid the door zone. And number 10. Make sure that you always slow down and yield to pedestrians and joggers. Next, we'll cover an overview of the NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share program. Once you're registered for the Bike Share program, you can check out an available set of bike keys at any time from the NYU Washington, D.C. security desk. When you stop by the NYU Washington, D.C. security desk, present your NYU photo ID so the security staff can verify that you're a Bike Share member. Once you're provided with a set of keys, you may keep that set of keys for up to 12 hours per use. If you don't need a bike for the entire 12-hour time period, please return the keys as soon as you're finished with the bike in order to keep the most bikes available for all Bike Share users. Abuse of the checkout process can result in a range of outcomes from a warning to suspension of privileges. Once you receive a set of keys, go to the bike room on the first floor, unlock the bike in the bike room that matches up with your keys, perform a pre-ride check, and start biking. A pre-ride check is a quick inspection of the bike so that you act, check the accessories, check the controls, and check the tires before you ride. First, check the accessories on the bike. The front wheel should be locked by the U-lock, as you can see on the left, and the rear wheel should be locked by the frame lock, as you can see on the right. You should be able to unlock both locks using your set of keys. When you unlock the U-lock, slide it into the mount on the bike frame, as you can see on the left. When you unlock the frame lock, the key will remain locked in place, as you can see on the right. There should also be lights on the front and the rear of the bike, a basket on the rear of the bike with a net, and a helmet. The helmet should not have any cracks or missing straps. Next, check the controls of the bike. Make sure the handlebars are tight and properly aligned with the front wheel. Squeeze the brake levers and make sure they have stopping power. Test the bell to make sure it works. Lastly, check the tires on the bike and make sure that they are aligned with the frame. Make sure that there are no broken spokes and the rims aren't bent. Squeeze the tires to make sure that they aren't flat. There should be a bicycle pump in the bike room if they need a little bit of air. If the bike you are inspecting does not meet any of these criteria, please report it to security and request another set of keys. If you are given keys to a bicycle and do not report any issues upon checkout, NYU Washington, D.C. will assume that the bicycle was provided to you in good and safe working condition. When you're done using the bike, please make sure that you check it back in appropriately. Return the bike to the bike room and hang it back up on the bike rack. Lock up the bike by locking the frame lock on the rear wheel, as you can see on the left, and then by locking the front wheel and the helmet with the U-lock, as you can see on the right. Finally, return your keys to the security desk and notify them if you experience any issues with the bike while you were riding it. Next, we'll address some frequently asked questions. When it comes to helmets, there's no bike law in Washington, D.C. that requires adults to wear helmets. However, we encourage you to wear a helmet while using the NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share program. Each bike will come with a helmet, and you can adjust the fit of the helmet by squeezing and turning the mechanism in the back. In general, a person may secure a bicycle to a stanchion, such as a parking meter or other pole, by means of a lock or similar device as long as securing the bicycle does not obstruct or unduly impede traffic or pedestrian movement. When you lock up the bike, you should lock the rear wheel using the frame lock as you can see on the left, and then lock the front wheel to the stanchion using the U-lock as you can see on the right. You should also remove the basket, net, and helmet so that the bike looks like this when it's completely locked up. If there's a problem with your bike after you checked it out and it's still safe to ride the bike, please return it to NYU Washington, D.C. and notify the security staff. If it's not safe to ride the bike, but you can transport it back to NYU Washington, D.C. via bus or metro, please do so. Bikes are allowed on the metro at all times except for Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 7 p.m. If you're not able to bring the bike back to NYU Washington, D.C., please lock it up safely and report the location and situation of the bike to the security team and nyuwashingtondc@gmail.com. If the bike or one or more of the accessories is stolen, immediately call the NYU Washington, D.C. duty phone at 202-615-9441. If you lose or damage the helmet, basket, lock, or key, we'll review the incident on a case-by-case basis to determine the outcome. Ultimately, we would like NYU Washington, D.C. students to sign up for and continue using the Bike Share program, but negligent use or abuse of the program and/or repeated loss or damages of Bike Share accessories can result in a range of outcomes from a warning to suspension of privileges or replacement fees. If you happen to get into an accident while you're riding a bike, stay calm and call 911 if anyone is in need of medical attention. Be sure to collect the other party's information and keep witnesses on the scene, and finally contact the NYU Washington, D.C. duty phone to report the incident. Thanks for watching the NYU Washington, D.C. Bike Share Safety Training and Orientation. Happy riding!